myself for moderator, so that we'll not overcrowd the network. But
Okay.
it will be better if maybe see you or see the presenters. All right, I think JTM is on board. Okay, JTM is on board. In that case, JTM is on board. Hello. I think what we'll do is we just start. Maybe just have or let me see. I'm coming. Just give me a minute while I go through that. I don't know. Coming. Okay, I think we'll just go on. Just go ahead and start. I think it's already getting. Time is already going far. We'll just start, and in that case, let's see how. Yeah. Sorry. Madam Timmy, can you please maybe share your screen or kind of share your go live if that is okay with you? Hello?
Sorry, what do you mean by share my screen?
Sorry, not screen, like is there a way we can get to see you? Is that possible? Is that okay with you?
Okay, that's fine. Hello?
All right, thank you very much. So okay, so I think we'll just start personal discussions. I mean, with us here, then we move uh, uh along. Then let's hope that others will join ASAP. Okay, yeah, we come in. Let me quickly close down some of these tabs. Sorry, because I want to. Yeah, I think you are live now on YouTube and people can actually view you straight up. Okay, so we have IWD 2025 Python Nigeria by Python Nigeria, and I don't know if this has been done before or is a frequent or regular event, or whichever the case. I think this is the right step in the right direction. So I think it's important we celebrate everyone. I think it's important we celebrate those who encourage others to, uh, be themselves, who have shown, resilience, who have been tenacious, who have been, community builders. And so when we think about it, we know for sure that uh, not everyone has, been doing that. And it's important we celebrate those who have been out there doing exactly that. So that is why we are putting together this, event to host. I mean, to see that everyone who has, spent his time or her time to build community, irrespective of, location or the barriers they, have to overcome, you know, spending their time, their money, and every other thing to see that people learn and to, you know, be there for others. I think it's important. It's the right thing for us to host them, the right for us to celebrate them. So that is why it's important. And of course, uh, there won't be Python Nigeria without the, you know, that uh, complete, wholehearted dedication of the, women in the house. I'm telling you the truth. As if from the inception to where we are today, it has been pushed by the women we have in the house. So we do well to celebrate them. And we also see how they've been able to fight those little battles here and there, you know, personal and of course professional. So we were supposed to have three people on the call. Uh, Mrs. Mrs. Timmy, and Mrs. Timmy, Mrs. Miss Aisha, no, Hamdallah, and who is now, okay, Sharon. So, well, I have not, I think we'll just go ahead and okay, I think Sharon has joined. Let me onboard. I'm coming. I have to, sorry. Let me onboard her. Sorry. All right. So, Sharon, welcome. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, Sharon. Can you hear me? All right. I can see you wave, but I can't hear you. I can see you wave, but I can't hear you. There is a chat on the, on the app. You can just chat me and tell me the situation. Yes, I can see you wave, but I can't hear you. Can you? If you can hear me wave, let me know. You can hear me wave. Oh, that means she's not hearing me. Okay, let me chat. Please, Auntie Temi, just let's quickly fix this. Can you hear me? Ah, at Sharon. Okay, she. Uh, all right. While we are doing that, I think we should just, because of for time's sake, let's go ahead. All right. This is going to be a panel discussion, and our focus will be basically on the topic leading without limits. Initially, I thought about it. Is there a way one can lead without limits? Like, seriously, how do one has to or have to overcome limitations to, to actually or effectively lead? And so today we'll be hearing from people who have done it before. Uh, want to expand the nuances. We want to see how, people actually navigate real world challenges. We want to see how they can, how they extend the version of themselves across multiple times and seasons. So I think we'll start with Auntie Temi on the call while we fix Sharon Beji's audio issue. So the first question, or sorry, that I want to share with you is, of course, tell us about yourself. So this is to Temi now. Please tell us about yourself, what you do, and any other beautiful stuff you want to tell us about. So the floor is yours. Thank you.
Um, I just found out that I was muted. I had said a lot of things. I hope you can hear me now. I just found out that I was muted. I had said a lot of things. I hope you can hear me now.
Okay, hi Julie.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Awesome. Yeah, I can
Okay, okay. I think that is good and fine. I think the next issue we're having now is that of please, Timmy, we can't hear you. I didn't hear you when you spoke. Sorry.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sorry.
Can everybody hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Uh, faint. It's kind of faint. I can't hear you very clearly. Sorry.
Hi, Sharon. Is it the same thing for you too?
yeah, I can hear you, but I think you're not very loud.
Yes, it's kind of faint.
Hmm. Okay, can you hear me now? Is it better?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, so hi everyone. Nice to meet you, Sharon, and every other person watching from any part of the world. My name is Temiloluwa, and I'm the founder of Rubis Technologies. What we do at Rubis Technologies is to teach kids and teenagers how to code. We believe in catching them young. We all agree to the fact that technology is the future, and tech is also disrupting a lot of things in the world today. So, irrespective of whatever those kids wants to become in future, it will be a good one for them to start getting exposed to tech, and not just tech as per using tech, but also becoming producers, seeing how they can contribute to solutions. So my team and I does this by training them with programming languages that are fun and engaging for kids, such as Scratch, App Inventor, and some of them even go as far as getting into Python and other major programming languages. Aside that, I'm a community manager, if that's permitted, but or sometimes I say evangelist, more like a tech evangelist, someone that goes about talking about tech. I'm passionate about women in technology and also young people, you know, not just kids and teenagers now, young people getting started in technology, whether you're just hearing about it for the first time or you want to transition. I help young people like that, and I've been in communities like Google Developers Group, Python Nigeria, Django Girls, and many other communities. I've been able to support this community by managing them effectively, by also mentoring young people, and especially women that want to start their tech journey. I think that will be all about me for now. During the course of the chat, there might be reasons to say more things I do. Thank you so much for this opportunity once again.
All right, thank you for that, Simi. I really appreciate. Yeah, Sharon. Hello, Sharon. Can you hear me? Hello, Sharon. Can you hear me? Sharon, can you hear me? Hello, Sharon. Can you hear me? Hello, Sharon. Can you hear me? Hello, Sharon. Can you hear me?
Ideally, I can
Okay.
hear you, so I don't know what
Oh,
issue.
that means Sharon is from your end. Temi can hear me. It's from your end. Maybe. Uh,
Sharon,
I can hear you now. It's calming and
yes, I can hear you. Can you hear
maybe
me?
network glitch.
I can hear you.
yes, I can.
You can hear me now?
Okay.
All right. So please introduce yourself and let's get started from there.
All right. Um, Thanks. Nice to meet you, Timmy. Thanks for the background that you shared. So, I major in data science and AI field. I started off about 5 years plus ago. Um, so when I started my career, data science and the AI field was fairly new in Nigeria, and there were a lot of struggles in terms of, you know, what skills to particularly pick on, how to get started, um, getting internships, kicking off the career was a lot uneasy, right? And that was what led me into being more of a community driven person at the start of my career. Starting off with She Code Africa, where the channel for data science women, right? So I provided mentorship, organized projects where they could work collaboratively, present these projects to industry experts, get feedback. It's a huge experience. And then I moved on from AI research, which was the first thing that drew my interest in the entire AI space, focusing on African languages, right? And then I pivoted more into industry-based development around machine learning and data science for the use, for people to make use of. Currently working in a commercial bank as a data scientist, and I'm happy to be here. The vision has been the same. I'm just going and growing through the entire process. Currently, I started off a new initiative called To Native, which is around translating existing sets that we have for natural language processing into more African languages. And the goal is to make AI inclusive. Some languages are words to
All right. Thank you for that. Yeah, let's still Sharon, I don't know. Have you been in any throughout this, your career, I mean, from one point to another, from when you started to this very moment that you're in, what could you say is leadership to you? Like, what do you understand by leadership? Have you been, or do you see leadership like something that has to do with, okay, until I'm made a team lead, that is when I will lead, or I kind of passive, whatever happens, no problem, as far as I am not bearing the title, right? Like in a team, I'm looking at the team settings. You understand? Like as a woman, you are in a team and you are not the team lead, right? And you are very certain, you are not guessing, you are very certain that the project you are handling might go wrong one way or the other, right? And of course, we will have to see two issues will have to happen. Or like, oh, this is how I see it. Why don't you do it this way? Why don't you do this so that this project will see the light of the day? Are you that kind of a person, or you just okay, whatever be the case, I'm not a leader, or I'm not the lead team, and whatever, I'm not a general manager, whatever happens, okay, oh, let it just happen. After all, whatever happens, no one will reach out to me. It will be like a team fault, not my personal fault. So how do you see leadership? Is it a positional thing or not a positional thing? How do you reflect on that? Hello, did you hear me? Hello? Hello, Sharon, did you hear me? Okay. Let me go through. Hello, did you hear me? Hello, Sharon, did you hear me? Or can you hear me now? Oh, let me see. Can you hear me? Sharon, can you hear me? Wow, this is really uh okay, go ahead. Okay, I think what we'll do now is let's defer that question to uh Mrs. Temi. Mrs. Temi, to you, what is leadership? Is it positional until I am given a role or I will not bear the responsibility? Or you see leadership as from responsibility to role? The usual thing out there is it is from role to responsibility. Until you make me a thing, I will not contribute. I will not, you know, be there. So how do you see leadership? Is it from role to responsibility or from responsibility to role? Or how have you been able to navigate all this, as CEO and as founder of a tech community?
Thank you so much today for the question. For me, leadership is responsibility. It's not really about the role. The fact that this is how people are doing it, I don't do things because every other person is doing it that certain way. I look at how is this thing being done. So my exposure to leadership started while I was in the university, and I must tell you that the time I got into leadership, I didn't have the opportunity to get into any role that fit. I will share a particular experience that can elaborate that. When I got into tech over a decade ago, I didn't really see a lot of like young women do tech in school. It was not I was not even seeing communities, right, of people doing tech. So for my research, I later found one community and I went to I reached out to the person, how can we do something for women? So long story short, the first attempt, I didn't have control and I was totally fine because the goal for me was want to get women involved. And the event was a great success, because I was just after we just want to get women involved. I'd applied at that time to be the women tech makers leader in my community, but it was not reviewed or even accepted or rejected. But I think I applied 2, 3 times. I remember meeting the Google developers group head at a particular event, and I told him I was like, "Oh, we didn't see the application." I just kept applying, but they were not reviewing it. But I just when I did the event and it was a success. So for me, it's just about being responsible for something. So like the instance you made an examples, if I get on a team today, whether a community or any team, the first thing I want to ask myself is, how do I want to serve here? Whether I'm the least person on the team or I'm fortunate to be the leader of the team, what matters to me is service. So that summarizes your question again that leadership is responsibility before your role. That's why you see a lot of leaders, so-called leaders, in a role, but they are not responsible. It's because you have to be responsible before you fit into a role. And leadership is not about title. is about what you're doing, how you can serve. You can be the least person on the team and still be the leader of the team. When people need help, even the team lead, they will always come to you because they know that by title they are the leader, but by responsibility, insight, experience, and service, you are the leader. So leadership is responsibility and not a role.
All right, thank you. Um, Still on that, let me quickly ask you one question, and that is for you, having built communities, and you are leading one currently. You've been involved with Python Nigeria, you've involved with Django, you've been involved with GDG, you've involved with a lot of tech communities. For you, how do you define success? Because you've been out there doing this. How do you see success? It's possible there are people who didn't take your part and maybe they are working with Google. So to you, what is success
Okay,
as regards career growth?
if you had asked me this question 2 days back, I would have answered differently. But I think I have a different perspective just lately. But I would still give the answer from the concept of what I used to know and how I see success now. So before now, success for me is when I leave this thing, can it continue? Right? So I remember when I wanted to leave, I left GDG community, my GDG community last year, January, after leading for over 5 years, if I remember. And one of the reasons why I stayed long in that community was I was just so concerned that will this community continue? I didn't want a situation whereby when I leave, this community will just, go down the drain. Is you're not paying anybody's fully a volunteer community, and you're really concerned that you've put a lot of energy, you've put a lot of effort into this thing, a lot of sacrifices have been made. I don't want this thing to go down the drain. So I was really concerned. I'm a Christian and I pray about almost everything I do. So at that time, it was like, leave this thing. But before I left, I'd already seen successors, people that I know that they can undo this thing, but I was still scared, to be honest, that will this thing work? It's over a year I left the community. I think they're doing much better than I was there. So success for me now is as at that time is the fact that I can see some people continue what I'm doing. It didn't die. But at the same time, what if he had died? Doesn't mean that it was not successful. It was just successful at that time. And it could not just continue. But for me, that's how I feel fulfilled at doing something. Is there continuity, number one? But number two is the impact I've made, which should be the major definition for success. The thing might not continue, but at that time that you were doing it, you've made impact, you've changed a lot of people's life. Would you now say that you're a failure? One of my major success from leading GDG community is having one of my students then that was probably a 100 level student in school, and he studied food engineering, but currently he's doing his PhD in computer science. And you wouldn't believe that his first encounter with tech was one of the events we hosted, and up until today, he's always still grateful for the insights he got at the event, for the exposure he got at the event, and how it has turned his life around, helping him find his purpose and career. What if I didn't do it? Maybe he would have found that opportunity, but what if maybe he wouldn't have? So for me, looking at that young man every time is success for me, right? Whether the community now still exists or not, that's success. So I don't know if I've answered your question, but I used examples to answer your question, which is perfect for me.
Still on you, Temi, sorry. I just
Okay.
want to, follow through certain things. I don't know if how comfortable you are to share that moment you felt, or was there ever any moment you felt limited, like self-doubt, and how did you push through? Was there any time over this, course of leading GDG, leading this, leading that, you said, Kai, maybe one or two person appeared on the event, or you saw one or two person around the community and say, Kai, I don't think I'm making sense at all, and you just doubted yourself. And so how were you able to, push through, irrespective of the fact that at a point, you know, that happened?
I think I've been asking myself this question lately, that is there anybody that really does not feel self doubt? Honestly, I've been asking myself. We talk about low self-esteem, we talk about imposter syndrome, we talk about a lot of things. But is there anybody that has really overcome all these things and at any level it doesn't affect them? I don't have any outright answer because I've not done any data on it. But with the relationship I've had with people, even grown up people, more experienced people in the industry and outside the industry, I would say that I think it's normal that we feel dejected sometimes when we are doing some things. But I think the issue is staying long at that down moment when you're staying too long at a particular thing. Um, for me, what I was feeling worried about last year or dissatisfied about last year, it will be bad if that's what I'm still feeling dissatisfied about this year. Of course, because I should have grown and maybe more challenged now, like something bigger should be what's pushing me. Let me give an example. So let's say last year I was working in a company and maybe for my job, for my KPIs, I was not meeting the my goals or I was having challenges meeting my goals or even your personal goals and I was feeling bad about that, feeling dissatisfied about that. So I should be able to pull through that towards the end of the year, maybe getting help and all of that, and I overcame. This year, I'm maybe now a founder or CEO. The challenge I'll be facing is different. And as a CEO or a founder, you also have some things that are putting you down. So I am
Sure.
just to make you know that I think it's regular. Most people, I must say everybody, I'm saying most people still face this time in their life. And that's why you see a lot of young people come on Instagram today or social media and you see them crying and saying it's been tough because it's tough for almost everybody, but we handle it differently. So, but for me, how have I handled it in the past? Um, before I would say I've not been doing a good job handling self-doubt because whenever I judge things by I'm too calculative, I'm too logical. People say that you overthink things. I hear that my friends tell me that a lot. Why are you overthinking this thing? It's not that deep. So I'm a perfectionist. I want to see everything go perfect. You plan an event, no matter how people are saying this event was a success, we learned a lot, it was a great time. And because I found something that did not represent me well, I would think about it. I would feel so bad. I would beat myself up. I would cry about it in my closet that you failed. You should have known with the years of experience I've had in this thing. You don't know that this will happen. So how I now move to that is to start taking things easy for myself and accept my wins. I mean, this is an event that everybody's saying that was successful. Why are you focusing on the little thing that didn't make it, go as you have imagined? Maybe my expectations sometimes are too high for myself and I had to beat myself low. I will not lower my standard, but at the same time, I should have set my own win. So how I started overcoming dejection easily because this is something that happens. To be honest, it has not stopped, but it's in different levels. So it's by saying that okay, in this situation, have I ever done anything that makes sense? Have I ever impacted anybody's life? Have I done anything good here? So if I look at it, I'm like, okay, yes, I did. Okay, did I make mistake? Yes. How can I learn from this mistake? You know, how will I avoid this mistake next time? So I pick up that lesson and instead of using 2 months to sulk, because I can take that long, yeah, but forget I'll show up. You will not know that that is happening inside, but I would be sulking about it in my own private space. But instead of doing that now, in 1 week, 2 weeks, I'm already over it and I'm focusing on the wins and seeing how to build more on that win. So it's just by being self-aware, if I would use a word for it, knowing yourself, understanding yourself and giving yourself um those that I don't know how to lapses, like you can make mistakes, learn from it. So the problem will be if you are making the same mistake over and over again, that should seek for help or check inward again. No matter what the case is, always check inward. It's always an internal thing, but it could also be external. Of course, when you check inside and you see that there's no problem inside, you then will be able to identify what is going wrong outside, and you get well. So if you're feeling discouraged about anything, it's regular. The only problem is if you stay too long down, and if you're making repeated mistakes, then you should seek help and maybe find yourself more and look at what will make you happy. Because some people are doing what they don't enjoy, and there's no how you can be satisfied. You're not enjoying what you're doing, so you always feel down. You want to change what you're doing and see what will make you happy. So I'm doing what makes me happy, naturally. So uh, getting up from those things is getting easier day after day. So
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, let me ask Sharon. Let me take from Timmy and ask you. She has said a lot, and I think I will be picking from that end. And
Yeah.
I think everyone actually goes through self-doubt, either you accept it or not. Even if you're a billionaire, at the point you want to like, I hope my billion is not getting, it's still billion, not million. And everybody doubts. I want to extend that to you, Sharon. How did you get here? How did you get to a point where you are now a data scientist at Starlink? How was it like? Was it were you did you fight any external or internal issues? What was your advantage? Kind of, we've heard stories of people who coded using phone. Was your situation like that? Or from the get-go, everything was cool? And secondly, were you this one that went through UI US, through crypto, went through data analysis, went through, after doing 360, you decided to say, Kai, maybe data science would be it. Or right from the very first day you joined tech, it was data science. And finally, do you have repeated mistakes? And are you happy with what you are doing as a data scientist? Because these are all questions Timmy just raised. Are you really happy? Does it give you joy?
Okay. These are very, very comprehensive questions. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so to start with, um, my journey in tech started off with data science from the get-go. However, it was it was an uneasy decision, right? So, because after school, I got into tech quite late. That was after NYC. Yeah, it was because I have a background in physics, and then I was struggling to identify what I wanted to do with my degree when I was doing serving, and then I wasn't sure. At the time, I had friends who had pivoted into tech, majorly around software engineering. And then I also wasn't sure if software was what I wanted for myself. I started off learning HTML to start with, but I wasn't getting it, or I wasn't feeling it, if that's the word. And then I withdrew from that, but I wasn't sure what else to do. So I did a lot of reading and research. And fun fact is that my mom was the one that discovered data science for me. She came around an article. Yeah, so the guy studied physics. The guy's name is Admond Lee. Is an Asian. So he wrote this article on Medium, pivoting from physics to data science. And she saw the article and shared with me, and it felt like, when you've been seeking for something and you found an answer, there's this sort of like body that is off your shoulder. And it felt like this was it. Maybe because it has similar background with me, I don't know, but that was that click. And then I said, this is what I'm going to do. Then I did some research on my own, what entailed, what tools wanting to pick up. I saw Excel, I saw Power BI, I saw some other stuff there. And then on my own, I started learning Excel beyond the Excel that we use in school for thesis and the likes. But again, it wasn't clicking. It felt like I'm not enjoying this, right? So I spoke to a few people. I came across a friend. Then I was in Umuahia at the time, Nabia State. I met this guy who was serving, and then he told me that, do I know about this community called AI Saturdays Lagos? I said no. And he said, oh, that he has joined him a couple of times, but he doesn't find it interesting. But maybe I'll like it. But if their this registration is up, then he will let me know and I can enroll. So it's up. coincidentally, it was the next day after our personal parade, and I came to Lagos after on Friday because it's a Saturday thing. So Saturday I joined in my first class and my first ever introduction to tech. Um, I saw Python for the first time, line of code, and I started off in that classroom at Unilag. And then I realized that there's a difference in data analysis and data science. So while I was struggling with in Excel and Power BI, it was more of data analysis stuff than data science, and I was more interested in data science. I liked the science of, and maybe because of how maybe it felt complex in my head at the time, and I liked it, right? Um, I realized that there was a lot of coding involved, and it got me more intrigued. And I said, yes, I want to settle on this. And then when I started these Lagos, I got exposed to research, mostly research. There was this conference going on at the time, where we had to stream it to Nigeria. I coordinated that conference, the streaming in Lagos. And then for the first time, I saw people on stage talking about some research papers, things that they did. I mean, everything was fast, but fascinating at the same time. And I was just like, I want to get to this point. I want to be like these people. I want to write papers that other people would read. Like I want to do things. And then, so it felt like for every step I take, there is something that makes me more interested in data science field. And then I started my internship as a researcher, a research intern. Yeah. And then I think I had a shift at that point. When you keep learning, you keep discovering yourself better. So the shift was that I had a big question mark with research, African research at the time, where I felt like we had a lot of theoretical work that we couldn't see in production. Like people are not making use of it. I'll sometimes see like Google's events, they talk about some things that they built, you know, and then these are actual devices and people are making use of it. And I was like, why can't we do things? Why can't we go beyond? Or why can't we just move beyond stopping at the papers that we write and then pushing this out as a product? And when I began to question that, I lost interest in research. I lost interest in pursuing research. A lot of my friends went further to pursue PhD and the likes, but that was one core thing that kept me back. I'm like, no. So I changed my career at that point. Um, I had to start afresh. Not afresh, but I took an internship again. This is like after a year and a half. I mean, I've gone beyond being an intern. I'm working full time, and then I'm coming back to being an intern again. And I was interning this time as a software engineer because I wanted to learn about production. I wanted to learn about the industry usage of things, combine it with machine learning and the likes. And from there, I joined a startup. So it's been more about trying to discover myself, as I go on, but it's still within the entire data and AI industry. Yeah. I think the next question you asked was around trying to remember. The third question, I think you asked about like if I've had regrets, right? And if I love what I'm doing. I don't think I've had regrets. And if anything at all, data science in Nigeria has been tough, extremely tough. It's been hard getting jobs, it's been hard getting like side gigs. You're not as rich as your other tech counterparts because like maybe it's faster, I don't know, but it's been a lot harder because you barely see data science opportunities in Nigeria. But I'm excited about the OpenAI launch and the ChatGPT wave that came in, and it disrupted the entire AI and data space. It's almost like a lot of startups are springing up, international opportunities are coming up, and then a lot of people are trying to like build something or integrate an AI feature in their products. It has opened a lot of opportunities for people in that field. And I would say that one thing that kept me in this industry this long, despite the challenges, is because of how innovative it is, right? How you're able to think about problems, develop models that solve those problems, like read papers, see things that you're thinking about and people in different countries are exploring, and how it brings the world together. Like there's something very interesting about AI in the large scheme of things, right? And that was one thing that pinned me here. And I'm excited about it, right? I'm excited that I can think far, right? It's beyond the limits of software engineering and there's more to it. Yeah, so I think that's like the key thing. I don't know if I missed any other question.
No, 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 you didn't.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. The thing is, you like you rightly said, getting jobs around AI in Nigeria is, I mean, data science or data engineering is low or lower than software engineering and maybe at the back end or front end. How did you get to Starling? As in, did you kind of okay, like arranged it? When I mean arranged it, this kind of planned it. Oh, I want to work in social place, and this is the required skill set. Let me learn it and apply. Or you were already good to go, and the opportunity just came and you applied. What was it like? What was the experience?
Yeah, so I mean, first off was when I made up my mind I wanted to focus on industry, I had to inquire on the required skills. Right. Remember that again, I was coming from the research background. I know some things that we do, we don't consider production, like things that's reusable in production, right? So I sort of like outlined things I needed to improve on. I had learned SQL a long time ago, but all through my research experience, it was irrelevant because we dealt a lot with large unstructured data like documents, videos, images, so they were not relational inclined. So I sort of like took a course after I made that decision on there was this nano degree on university that I took from through ALX at the time on cloud AWS cloud developer something. That was the name of the nano degree. And then I also spoke about the internship I went with on software engineering. And then I had to like brush up on ML, right? So the experience I had with startup was, I think it was a very good one, and I'm happy I did it there because it's more about ML as a service. That was what they were developing, a product around ML as a service. So it was like an envelope that combined every of these things into one and prepped me for the next big thing. So when the opportunity came, with Sterling Bank, it was more about, okay, I have the skill sets, right? I've done things around fraud detection, which was important to a bank. Yeah. I have skills beyond data science. I had the software part of things, right? I've also had research experience, which is one key thing that differentiates you from industry experts, funny enough, because you are aware of a lot of models, a lot of tools, you've read a lot of papers, you've had a lot of discussions, you're able to see a problem and think beyond, okay, it's not working like this. So I can actually research, I can actually ask people in communities how they've done this type of thing. So like I had to two things in one, which gave me an edge. I don't know, but I'm assuming it did. And so it's more like I prepared for the opportunity. It came at the right time when I was just, wrapping up with the startup and the products we're working on at the time. And yeah, I think I grabbed it and I was fortunate to get shortlisted for the role.
All right. Still with you, Sharon. Just stay with me.
Mhm.
What
Yeah.
best practices like um, help you avoid burnout? Once in a while, like you said, you're working as data scientist with Starling Bank, and you have a startup or something you're leading. Is it tentative or what do you call it? Sorry.
Yeah, to native
So how do
language.
you
Yeah.
kind of avoid burnout and still show up fully? Like you avoid. What time do you have for yourself, or if you are just work, 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 work?
I think that burnout topic is a very, very important one because, I mean, it's a sad thing that almost anyone that knows me would know me as someone that is overly busy, right? Like, beyond this, I have like a couple of other things I'm doing. And it's more about initially when I started off, I liked the sense of being engaged. I don't know. I didn't have a life. I like the sense of getting my hands into something. I felt like I would grow faster in my career. Literally on paper, I have 5 years of experience, but if I put together everything I've done, I can be extending to 7 or 8 years of experience. And that's because for every time I'm in one role, I probably have a side gig going on, right? Or I have like, this thing or the other thing. I constantly want to develop myself. I feel like if I focus solely on a particular thing, I'm locking myself from every other thing. But then it got to a point in my life and I realized that it needs to slow down, right? You need to, or you've got to, you've earned that stuff you're looking for. Now you need to slow down. So at the moment is I pick the things I'm strongly interested in, and not things that I was persuaded to be part of, or things that someone is getting involved, and you're like, hey Sharon, we have this stuff. Are you interested? I need you to. I would like you to join me on so and so thing. I've always been that available person for things like that because I like the sense of when you engage in something new, you learn something new from it. So that's putting I want to learn in front would always make me forget that I don't have the time and just get involved. But now I'm careful to engage in anything. I'm careful to, say yes, right? And aside that is I try to like identify something else I like outside work. I started learning how to cycle again. I think the last time I rode a bicycle was way back in my junior secondary school. I got a bicycle and I'm like, okay, I think this is one thing that I could be doing on evenings that I have the time to just ride around the estate. And the other hand is that I also got a keyboard. I've been wanting to learn a keyboard for the longest time in my life. And, I'm like, okay, I need to do this. And then when I have a tutor, I have the time for my class, it makes me automatically turn off my laptop and focus on that class. And after the class, I have to stay back for some time, play my keyboard, forgetting every other thing that I have to do. When you have like things that get your mind, off work, it's helpful. And then it also makes you limit the kind of you now realize that you don't have as much time as you think, right? Because I always felt like for every 5 minutes I have, I can be doing something. But now I encourage myself to remain on the bed, I'm on the bed, I'm doing nothing, and just allow, it's okay to rest. So I bring this to my mind at every time, and it has sort of like drifted or shifted the way I think about work within the past few years of my career.
All right, thank you very much, Sharon. I really appreciate your time, your effort, and I think as a matter of fact, I learned a lot from what you have shared so far, and I do hope that we'll still have some contacts because this is just the beginning. We of course we'll have to contact you for maybe technical uh, you know podcast or whatever it is that we put in out there. At least we want you to share your experience and share uh, your journey with as many that are within the community. I don't know if Timmy is there. Timmy, are you there? Because I wanted to ask you this. Hello, can I? Timmy, hello, are you
Yeah,
there?
I can hear you
All
clearly.
right, all right. Okay, Timmy, you've been as in synonymous to community work. Like you've built community right from your university days to this very moment. What is one singular person, or I mean, sorry, who is that singular person that you can look up to and say, this person has been my go-to person that has held my hand all through this journey? Like, when I look at this person, he's an encouragement to me. And so I will do what I have to do.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
All right. I think the one single person would be myself.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just one single person because it takes a whole village to
Okay.
get here. So if you are just asking for one single person, human being, myself. When I look at myself, I'm like, I mean, you're trying, don't give up. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, I think I asked you that question because I think I'm kind of in the same shoe with you. Do you kind of self motivate? Are you very strong with that? Like, if at all nobody's giving you the advice, nobody's pushing you, as long as you have agreed within yourself that this is the right thing to do, you go ahead and do it, or you kind of need a push or an approval. How do you navigate? Because you've spent quite a long time in the community, and of course, whoever has been in the community knows that it's not paid, right? It's not that you have a salary somewhere, someone is paying you, or you are getting some huge sum of money from it. How have you been consistent all this while? Like, you've been consistent. Like, at least you've not done this thing, you've done it for like 7 years. So how have you been able to do it, knowing fully well that 2026 will still come, you still be a community person, you will still talk about, community yet. So where is that motivation coming from? Is it that someone is giving you, or is it like you are just giving yourself? That is what I want to really get to know. So that, of course, people will watch this later and will get to see, oh, this is how it is done. Because some people, what I'm asking is, some people feel community people are rich people. People are into community. Is that, yes, I'm telling you the fact. They feel, Timmy is leading GDG now. She has money. She's leading Python Nigeria. There is money there, you know. The idea is like, community, since it's non-profit, is as the same as NGOs. The big boys in town are NGO people. So, you get my point. There is that correlation, that trying to similar thing. Oh, it's non-profit, it's NGO, and they are the same thing now. There is a huge amount of money. So that is what they are. So where do you derive that motivation from? Or who is that, reference point that you look up to and say, okay, this person has been doing it and I'm going to do it? Or there is no reference point at all?
I, I don't even know how to answer the question. It seems like one question, but at the same time, it looks like a lot. So I would say that I'm trying to look back to how I got into the community and what has been keeping me going, right? It's, I think you were right. It's about maybe 10 and above, like over a decade now in the community. And but for me, that's also a question. But when I started tech, which of course I'm not more I'm not like Sharon, and I'm happy to be. We look at people like this, like, oh, they are the one doing the work, while we are the one doing the awareness and all of that. So it's still like a group effort. Everybody cannot be doing community. Some people need to do that real work. And I really do appreciate when I see people do that, because maybe some of us gave up because it was kind of tough and they moved to something else, or maybe they really called into community
Sharon,
development.
you link up with Sharon. Sharon
No, I'm
will.
going to leave for because I think I enjoyed what she said, our mom. And
Yeah, so link up with Sharon so that Sharon will.
parents to kickstart career for their children, that really got me, and I would definitely want to link up with her. But for me, my friend actually introduced me to community. I remember very well my friend Dr. today. She was just like, oh, let's organize Django Girls in my school. Then I think that was 2016 or 2015. And I'm like, because I've been doing coding like since 2012, but of course, on and off. I could relate to all of Sharon's story when she started, but I'm really happy that she got something that later excited her and she's staying true to it. Well done. Your story was really inspiring and I enjoyed it. And God bless mommy too. So so I
Exactly. Mommy was part
Thank
of the
you.
journey.
She
yes, yes.
was.
You
Yeah.
would never stop being part of the journey, because I don't know how your story will be complete without mentioning that. you know. So I started with my friend and she was like, let's do this for girls. And naturally, I'm just someone that love doing things for people. While I was in university, I got involved in tutorial, any little knowledge. If I learn something today, the next thing on my mind is how I will share it to people. That's that is my own personality. If you teach me how to do 2 plus 2 in a very easier way, I'm like, this is easy. It's how I will share to people that will be on my mind. So that's but I didn't know. People discovered my skill actually. I didn't know that that's what would make me get into community. So the first person I want to give kudos to is Okpetinde, that my friend. She kind of like figured out that this is what you're good at. In fact, in 2019, when I was still struggling with should I keep doing data science, should I go to AI, I was just struggling. I had a particular friend whom we started AI lot of data science together. He was trying to encourage me that you can do this, don't give up on all this AI. But I was like, I'm struggling with this automating Python with boring stuff.
And,
But
and,
so
and same 2019, that year seems like the whole data science
a lot
wave was
happened.
really,
So
yeah.
this my friend of course today was like, Ruth, I've watched you over the years. I also bear Ruth, by the way, or Tammy, anyone. I've watched you over the years. You are good with managing people. You are good with managing things. Why not build a career in line with this? But as at that time, I'd already started Ruby's Tech. As at that time, I'd already started GDG. But I was just doing it out of, I just want to get people to know about tech. I want to see people get developed. So it was not, I was not seeing anybody I was not seeing anybody that was looking up to or anything. Of course, there were people then that I was like, they're doing well. This is a great way of impacting people. And that's people like Anedi. As at that time, it was always getting me interested. The energy is just the kind of energy I like. I remember when I did a lot of things. I did this, I can't remember this Andela learning community when because I thought of don't come for me. I was part of the 100 course, I think in 2017, and we were in a room, and he came to speak to us that day. I can't even remember the things he said, like 2017 up till now. You know how much impact. I was just looking at this person. I'm like, I like what this person is doing. Do you get? I also remember there was a time in 2019 or so I met Ada. Although at that time she was working with InterSwitch, and I was telling her that okay, we got to, and she was like, I know you, and we're talking. And I was like, how do I get into developer relation? Because that was our job at that time. So she also gave little hints on, oh, you can do this. There are courses you can take. She said those things, but I was still trying to figure out what was best for me. So long story short, I figured out project management was just like the perfect fit for me at that time. And it also still give me because what we do in the community too is related to managing project people, programs, and all of that. So it's basically people identifying that this is what you're good at. Once you give me, my friend will even go as far as saying that just give Temi the idea that this is what you want to do. Even when you don't want to do it again, she'll be reminding you and she'll see that we get to the end of it. So I'm more of like start, I can execute and get it done. So far I don't get discouraged by any other thing. So that spirit of helping people is just major. Another example of my personality. So this is my personality. Yes, people have inspired me with their lives. I've read about people online but it's just my personality. Whether I'm making money or not, I mean, it's been over things. I've not really made money from this thing. I've not even been on any salary that that you're getting as people now get community management salary, getting a job as community. I've not done that. Rather, I focus on my project management. But of course, I'm open to things like that. I'm just saying I've not been in that shoe. But yesterday I was thinking of something. I'm taking a training and we're giving a workbook. I just noticed that I struggle writing in that workbook. Like anytime I'm supposed to write in that workbook, I'm like, should I write? So I asked myself yesterday, why don't you write in this workbook? And the simple answer was that I would want to share that workbook in future. And I might want to photocopy it, snap it for people. So I don't want to write to distract them. I'm like, you bought this workbook for yourself. Come on, write. When it's time, either you get a new workbook for them or they go and get it. So that was even writing inside that workbook. I've been in that training for like 7 weeks. Writing as at yesterday was still like, should I write? Should I write inside the workbook? So I just thought that why are you doing so much to just, for people? It has its own disadvantage, I must be honest with you. That's affected my growth at some point because I was rather focused on helping people than even getting developed. which is not a good one. It slowed down my pace at some point. So it's basically how I'm wired, just helping, creating impact. I think the day I would feel dead is the day I stop creating impact. When I start doing things for other reasons except impact. So impact is the reason why I'm here. And this is what God has called me to do. I've tried other things. It's not just clicking, but when I'm developing people, contributing to what to make people grow, I'm always excited. So I don't know if that answers your question, but
Yes,
that's that.
exactly. You will be concluding, but let me ask Sharon, what is the future like?
What's my future like? Is that what you said?
Yes, do you still want to be data scientist from maybe from now till the next 5 years, next 6 years, next 7 years, next 8 years, or you just want to maybe be data scientist like uh Nigeria situation. I'm a data scientist today, make the money, just wake up one day and say, "Car, beg, let me enter one thing, another business, or let me, forget about it entirely." Or you still see yourself like someone who would do data science till you know you grow throughout the industry until you retire. Like you just keep going, data officer, maybe like that, like that, like that, like that. How do you career progression, or you just want to make money and say bye bye?
So I think I've not even fully exhausted the data field. I think there are a lot of things to still explore. Um, I don't think quitting anytime soon, but I don't know, maybe 5 to 10, 20 years from now. I don't know, but let's just say next 5 years. I mean, soft launch is that I'm working on a startup idea with a couple of friends, and it's still around the AI space, and I still think that there are a lot of problems to be solved. The main thing for me is as long as I'm solving problems, I'm okay, right? I don't get bored. I enjoy it. I enjoy thinking about something, and I think AI is a powerful tool that has been placed in my hands, and I think I need to maximize it. Maybe until I feel like I've maximized it, then I'll quit. But for now, I'm very much in the game.
All right, Madam Temi, advise your younger self. Imagine you are still in secondary school. Now you want to go to university, and with the way the world is now, so advise your younger self.
I mean, I think my advice is out there, and my advice has been in my story. Why did I start through these technologies? Why are you interested in kids and teenagers? For someone that is also interested in women and young people, you can just focus on that. But why kids and teenagers? It was basically because um, while I was in school, I never knew anything about coding, software. I'm not even sure. I still try to remember that did they ever mention it in our school? We had a lot of clubs. We even take assignments home during midterm break and type.
Me, I have. They used to take us to computer lab to go and show us computer, return us back to the class.
No, my own school was
Yeah.
even very effective with computer.
We used to
Like
go to excursion in our own school. We see the computer, then they will return us back.
we use the computer. They give us midterm break assignment that you have to type and spiral bind like normal projects in school. And during the holidays, we even go for IT. That's kind of school I went to at my higher secondary school, that's SS. But I was thinking that how come they never, in that kind of exposed school, how come they never still said anything about coding, or did I miss out? We do music. There were other extracurricular activities, but coding. So when I got to know about coding, I think that was 2011. I was like, I was angry. I was just angry that why is that nobody talked about this thing? Maybe I would have made better decisions. So my younger self, that was beyond my power actually. But I keep saying that the reason why I'm doing this is for these children to be informed. They can decide not to use it, but they are well informed and they can make informed decisions. Imagine me going to school to study computer engineering because I thought that computer science was about Microsoft Word, Excel, and all of that. That was the limited information I had because I was telling people that since I could type well, I could do every other thing, then I knew everything about science. So let me go and do engineering so that I can know how to build computers. Just imagine that kind of decision. So how can we create information for people that don't have access to older siblings? My younger siblings have hardly benefited, they will make better informed decisions. At least I have one of my siblings that wants to study computer science now. Of course, they've seen the result and they understand. That kind of sibling will not be saying that I want to study engineering because I want to learn how to build system. Mind you, you never even build anything. You will not build a mouse in school, let us say the system itself. So all those mistakes, but they were beyond my own, I don't know, they're beyond my
Control.
jurisdiction. Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. Because if nobody had told me, I would not know. So if, but then, there's still a part of with this, the young people, when you give them access to something, they don't appreciate it. So
It's
my
true.
advice to my younger self would be that when I see opportunities, any kind of opportunity, I will jump on it. I will jump on it because it is not a waste. So far, I have the capacity to learn it. I'll never get tired
Mm,
of learning. And when
mm,
I grow up, I can now sit on one. Look at Sharon, she used a couple of years to kind of find her feet. Imagine if she had done that in secondary school or 100 level, then she will have
mm,
more time to build, and of course she would have been better. But it's not too late, and it's great to see that she's doing well for herself. So start early. Any opportunity you see as a young person, jump on it. Don't all this have arrived, all these things. Well, I wish we I had that understanding, but I didn't have the opportunity. But if I had the opportunity growing up, I would jump on it and seize every opportunity to make a better future for myself. So that's the advice.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your input, seriously. And maybe what I will do is once in a while, I'll come and take some, not just from here, serious ones. And we do hope 2026 to do a bigger one, maybe even, but not virtual, maybe physical one, where we'll have enough time with jollof rice and some sip and really share our experiences. It's true. We'll just sit down, not too fluffy stuff, just sit down, share real life stories, that will inspire people, and they will hear that indeed, sometimes like myself, I don't think there is very few people in the industry really moved from zero to one. Like from day one, they knew the software engineering and they jump into it and they become software engineers. Very few, very few. A lot of us read my road. We just went. Is it AI Saturday? We went. Is it this one? We went. Is it AI US? We went. Got to a point where we were just confusing ourselves. And that is how some people give up. It's not that there is no brain to learn one particular one and sit down. It's because, like we said, there's no informed decision. We'll jump here, we'll jump here, we'll jump here, we'll jump here. And eventually we'll just wake up one day and say, Kai, how about let's say na project management would make sense. Or let's say now, we just so I think when we share these kind of stories, it's important that we don't keep them to ourselves because I am very certain that there are people who will watch this after today and they will learn a lot from it. Sharon,
I think there's a question
yeah,
I want to attend to.
okay. I'm listening.
No, there's a question in the comments. I'm seeing it from the
Okay,
comment.
okay, okay.
Peter Allen has the
I think I did my all right. What would you have done differently, emphasizing mistakes you couldn't have avoided? Yeah. So you were speaking when that question was asked.
Oh,
Tell
but
me,
anyway,
what
I
would you
think
have
Sharon
done
can still
differently?
contribute. I'll say something, but I think she can still contribute because everybody mistakes that I didn't even think that it could be directed to me. Mistake that I couldn't have avoided her. That means it's beyond my. I don't know. Maybe Sharon should answer. Let me. Okay, he said could have avoided. Oh,
Yes.
what would you have done differently? Emphasizing mistakes you could have avoided. So one issue I had learning again, and I didn't mention that at all, is that when I started tech, all this time I said I was learning and I was confused. I moved from one to the other. I never had a laptop. I started coding
Hmm.
with a phone, right?
Whoa.
I started coding with a phone. I had a couple of my university classmates that I borrowed their laptops. There was one that even was with me for close to a year. The lady just gave me and she had to come and take her. I mean, it's a laptop now. She had to take it later. Um, I just kept borrowing laptops like that. And you can imagine the impact of that. So I think the other what I would have done differently is not to give up on learning because of all the tough experiences I've had. Like it was just tough. It was just tough. I got my first laptop, I think in 2017. That's already after 5 or 6 years of trying to learn. And even at the time you get the laptop, the excitement was already off. You're just on a thin rope to see if you can still
Mm,
make it work. So, but I think I gave up easily in that regard. And that's where the place of community comes in. If there were really active community that cared and they were looking out for each other, somebody would have been there to pick me up, to assist me, to encourage me and see that I do better. So don't give up on learning. Don't let money. I didn't make this mistake, but I've seen people make the mistake. Money motivating them. I love the fact that Sharon mentioned that it's tough getting job here. You might sit online and see the tech guys living the big life, but it's it's not common. It's just 1 out of 30 or 1 out of 10. Yes, the numbers will increase, but it takes a lot. It takes a lot of sacrifices. So I made sacrifices, but I think I was just giving up easily at things like, oh, once I try this one, I just feel like it's not clicking. It can't go well with the phone. So I would just think that's number one. And the second one is focusing on developing other people and not developing yourself. Yes, I think I also said that while I was talking. I was just so keen on getting other people better, and I didn't pay interest so much in my own self development. You know what will happen? Everybody you've developed will come here and you might still be here. So it will take a lot to now go up. So
it's
you
true.
want to make sure that while you are building other people, don't stop building. I mean, I saw a video of Pastor Samadi Yemi when he was talking about when he goes on radio to talk about success. He's a leadership person, and he was talking about it. And he will look at his life as at that time. I think he was referring to 10 years ago that you are not looking like what you're saying. But he said he believed in it and he kept working on himself. So for you to move from one state to the other, you have to work on yourself. Impacting people, building a community would not make you a better person alone. Yes, you will get the skill, but you have to focus on yourself. You have to have plans for yourself too, and see that you are learning and you are progressing. If you notice that what you're doing is affecting your progress, take the seat back, disappear for how long you need. When you come back, they would appreciate you. It might take a while for them to take you in again, but they know that, oh, this person, we used to know, oh, she's now better now, But if you're just there, you might be good, but, the people that you have even that that you thought self they would have gone. I mean, not everybody will get there. Some people are makers, but then build yourself. Even take courses, learn, unlearn, and relearn. Don't just be dishing out knowledge. Don't just be seeing that you are in this event, assisting this event, volunteering for all the events. How are you also sharpening your own skill? It's very, very. I think that's my greatest mistake. And if I'm to turn the hands back and I don't start anything, I will prioritize my own learning while I will still impact people as much as possible, as much as I have the opportunity to do that. I don't know if that answers the question, but Peter, I don't know if that answers the question, but that's what I would have done differently. Okay.
Yeah, you said something that for the first time, I'm paying attention to. We both were, for those of you who don't know, we're both GDG leads. I think that thing affected a lot of GDG leads. We're so involved in the calendar, we're just following the calendar, running events. And guess what? It's just recently we started realizing, man, everyone we organize event for, they've gone far. Like we're very good in organizing events. Like I don't think that is why if you observe carefully, you realize that a lot of these WZ3MMT guys are GDG guys. There is no way you go to say you're a GDG person that they will question your ability to put one or two events together, especially tech events, right? To an extent, at least mid event. The idea is we were good at it, professionals, right? But it got to a point where because you are the one, you are the lead, or you have a co-lead. Most times it's lead and co-lead. Guess what happens? You'll be the one that will do Flutter. Then when Flutter came, you'll be the one that will do Golang. You'll be the one that will do because you just have to, do this, do this, do this. So you are just here, there, here, there. You are not special. Cloud came, the same thing. So it got to a point where I think
You're
it is a friend that
empty.
was asking me, I don't understand because which one exactly are you doing? I said, no, what I'm doing is this. He said, but today we saw you. If you check my other system, that system is still there. I have everything installed. I have Flutter. I have this. I have everything installed on that system. So I think it's a very big. I wish we can even talk with GDD guys. It's a very big mistake we made that time. Although that is a completely different community. So I know everybody is learning now. I think we didn't know. Nobody drew attention to it that come be a specialist and you can go vertical before you go horizontal. We were just going horizontal. Why? Because we just want the success of our communities. We just want to make sure people don't come. One thing you said to me that I got is that you have this feeling you don't want people disappointed. You want to make sure when they come, they have value for their time. You are just out there and it gives you excitement in as much as you are getting that excitement that people come and they are filled, I mean, they are happy. But guess what? Technically, you go nowhere because it's very, very time expensive to put events together. You have to be here, you have to be there, you have to. Even this virtual one now, like this morning, I was okay. I have to claim, I have to do this, I have to. No talk of the one that you have to be physically, logistics and all that print and so all these things we are good at it. But the real core, which is the technical knowledge, man, that is where a lot of us flop. And guess who are better now? Those people will just come to the event, stroll to the event, eat a jollof, take snap picture. They are the one out still.
Yeah.
All right. So Sharon, let's. I think we are rounding it up now. We have an open floor. Let's just have a discussion in the next 5 minutes. Ogaje Temi is on the call. Let's just have a call and let's share the experience around community obstacles, and we round it off. Thank you very much.
So I think for me it was I mean like what Timmy said. It's just that the difference is I realized it, right? That was after she called Africa and yes, because in 2020, late 2020, I joined She Code Africa, managing the channel for data science. And then late 2021, I was still at She Code Africa. And then I also joined AI Saturdays. I think that was the seventh cohort at the time, as a mentor. And in January 2022, it felt like I had a lot going on, right? Like I needed to pause. You know when it feels like you are everywhere. That was like the thing for me. But it doesn't make me any difference. It doesn't make me feel like I didn't lose out on opportunities. I think my own drawback was boldness, right? I wished I was I was someone that had much more confidence.
Is it my network?
Okay, seems like network left for a sec. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so I wished I was more of a very confident person, right? And it affected me with negotiations. Maybe you have like an opportunity, someone is asking you how much. When that question comes, there's this level of it destabilizes me at that point. I don't know what to say. And then I'm actually like short charging myself. Yeah, that was like one thing. And I'm looking at it again. I would want to tell anyone that once you believe in your skills, once you trust that you can deliver on something, go ahead and say that price. Like it's not gonna bite you. And most things that they would negotiate. But that fear of I don't want to lose this stuff. By the time I tell them this price, when they run away, right? They would actually not run away. So I wish I knew that earlier. I wished I had that audacity, right? Secondly is that I sort of like confuse humility with what's the word? I don't know the other word, whereby let's not look like I'm too proud.
Yeah. So I have a way of making myself small, like shrinking myself. I'm doing this to myself. Let me do it to myself. So it's not an external product, it's me. So it's more like I just want to like look humble or like, and then I see people who I know I am better than going for like great things, but I don't have the ability to. I personally limit myself. And this is also one thing, it's a behavioral thing which I think that I wish I sort of like put under control um a long time ago. Thirdly is engaging in stuff. I was always busy doing a lot of things, but I never saw things through to the end. Midway, I'm out. I get bored. I move to the next interesting thing, and then it stops you from actually seeing the impact of your work. At the end of the day, years down the line, someone is asking, okay, tell me, like, what are some of your achievements? But you've been busy. But like, you can't really count a lot of things because you engage in them quite alright, but they're not at that point that you could say that, you know, this is something that I'm super proud of, right? So it's one thing that I'm at the point in my life that, one, I'm conscious of things I engage in. If I'm getting to something, I'm really getting to that thing and I'm seeing it through until the point that we're like, there's no headway. We all agree. But I won't be the one to quench the fire when something is just coming up. Right. So these are like things that I wished I took control of at time like some years ago.
All right, as we round off, Timmy, please, if there is any last word from you, you were so excited at the beginning, or you are at any giving project, you'll be so excited, and later on just feel like, car, I think I shared that too. As a matter of fact, friends around me will tell you I am very analytical. I can sit here and tell you who will become the next president of Nigeria, and I won't be bored. Well, guess what? When we get to that very last minute of saying, hey, by therefore, this analysis, like the normal school debate, not to confuse you, but to confuse you. This is not the president. But to do it, I'm already bored. In my head, I have done everything. I think perhaps that we should say is one of the limiting factors we had. I had. And recently I've started working on it. Like, I can sit down, have 20 ideas, have like a burst of energy, get all of them done on paper, essentially whether you would not think for once that somebody you will get close to. I mean, it's me that did it. Except I want mama to tell you, hey guy, I did this thing. Like, seriously, I said yes. But guess what? Immediately I'm through doing it on paper. And the next one's like, what else? The joy, the excitement. It's not like I just like, give me more, give me more, give me more. There's someone that said no. Recently I've started I think last year, so I started doing it. Is that is not how it, so I am no longer doing it all. So what do I do? So I delay the enjoy the that feeling, that adrenaline that will trigger the end of the product or the project. I delay it. So what do I do now? I do them bit by bit. So this is the idea. So I consciously tell myself, no, I'm not going to do it because I know myself that if I do it, I can sit down and analyze everything and get everything done in my head. So what do I do? I will just say, okay, this is the project, this is the beginning, and this is the end, likely end. Okay, so where are we starting from? This is where I started from, right? I will do little by little. And guess what? And recently I've been enjoying projects, executive projects, and I say, oh, so this thing is as easy like this. But before, how about just tell me you want to sell crayfish? I will just ask you one or two questions. From the beginning to the end, I will tell you what you need to do and what you don't need to do. But guess what? Even if you give me this end at the end of the discussion, you start to give me money to start, I will not, because I've done it now. Look at it. I am true. I am the excitement is not there. But if something is new, it gives me that curiosity to find out. I want to know why. But immediately I guess to know it, it's like I've conquered it. Why should I even bother myself?
Exactly.
So I think I really enjoyed discussions with you people. Seriously, I wish this will continue. JTMe, I don't know if he be trying to private chat him. Let me check. Uh, uh, well done, Timmy, for all you do for your community. I believe you were made for this role. Meanwhile, it's never too late to start learning the technical side of things. You are appreciated. Yes, Timmy, this is one of the reasons why you do what you do. Everyone is appreciating you far and near. That is the truth. Your reward is here and now. So people will reward you definitely. So Yes, it's like Oga Jtemi is up. Hello,
Oh yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you louder, please. Sorry,
Oh,
so I can hear you
okay.
faint.
How about now? Is it audible?
A little bit again, small up.
Hey, I beg, don't vex for me in the pigeon ways.
It's
Is
okay.
it better now?
It's better now.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, apologies. I was engaged in some other discussions too. As we're having
Okay.
these discussions, some other discussions were ongoing. So first of all, I want to say thank you to our guests. It's more of an expression of gratitude and acknowledgement to your contributions to the tech world. Don't let me say Python alone, but to the tech world, because give or take, you are actually contributing a lot. This session, your time, what you've shared with everybody listening. This is on YouTube. People can always go back there. 10 years later, it's still there. People will always come back here. So thank you for sharing this, your time, your knowledge, your expertise, and all again. And maybe just to give a summary of based on what I've heard, that leadership is not just about the role, like, oh, I'm the head of something, something. No, since we're talking about leading without limits. So as we wrap up today's event, we just need to remember that leadership knows no boundary. It knows no boundary. There's no limit on who you can become or what you can achieve. Whether you are coding the next big innovation or AI, which is the buzzword at the moment, or mentoring future tech enthusiasts, or speaking up for others, you are definitely shaping the future of tech and the landscape of tech way from where you are. So together we can continue to lead this without limits, inspire one another, and grow our Python Nigeria community, which is part of what we are doing now. So thank you so much for being here. And we just want to say, let us keep this momentum going. Over to you, Dede. Thank you again.
All right, thank you. Yes, as we round up, this is already 135, 132. Thank you, Timmy. I really appreciate it. So I joined the session. Thank you, Sharon. I enjoyed the session. And please, one appeal to you guys. There was that cool synergy. I would want that another time. So this might not be the next one might not be IWD, International Women's Day. No, it might be like, I wish we could just be having this once in a month where we just hear people just listen, people just get to hear real stories, not fictions here and there. Like Timmy said, people balling with tech money. When you go to Twitter, you see people talking about crypto. You start questioning your creation. Am I even alive? What is going on? What is even happening to me? And before you know, you fall into depression. Even the small one you are doing that you are making, your life is comfortable. You start, no, 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 no. And that is the beginning of Yahoo. It is time. So I really, there is something Timmy said, and I agree with when that question was asked about, how do you handle, I think it's about how do you get stuff done? Is it when she talks about inward and internal and external? And she said, is there any other person who does it self-doubt? I think what we usually think, what I learned from here today is that everybody self-doubts. Everybody. Initially, I used to think, oh, I am the only one. I have that problem. Okay, I'm the only one who is doubting. I'm the only one. There is a way every human being looks down on himself or herself. Let me please share a story. Recently, we ran through a big project in West Africa. Then when we were through the project, every other person who was involved with that project went on LinkedIn and made that project for over a month. Now, I can share receipt. I brought the idea. We did the whole thing. We went to Lagos, finished everything. And I was so surprised that from the very day this idea started till over 6 months now, because we did it around November 16 last year. Till now, as I talk to you, and this is April, right? I think it's 6 months. They are still talking about it, and it's making me wonder. Me, I no get sense. Nay, I don't feel write English. Nay, what is my problem? Is it that the cost? What exactly is my issue? And you know the funny thing, the way they say it, there is a way they will write it on LinkedIn, and you will not even feature you. You just like, and so that you know go be like saying a bad belly. So I'm referring to Sharon now. It's like you just I started wondering. Then we recently had a meeting. So I brought this up. And what I noticed was that this is what I need to share here. The market where you hawk now they buy. Look at the market where you close. If you know hawker, nobody could buy
Yeah,
am.
that's true.
So all my market before now, I know the hawker at the keeper. Do you know that experience I have in Lady GDG is what some people are the way they will garnish it on LinkedIn. They will tell you there was one word. There is this, they made me hate one word. Africa. We are leading something Africa. I was like, bro, it's not Africa. You know? So so I said, I know the funny thing, I was self-doubting myself, and these guys are making it. And because people from the other side, Europe, in Asia, and others, they don't know what is going on. They will like it, they will say, well done, and they will, I'm like, seriously? Something will just talk, no, for meeting. We you are saying it and you're putting Africa. Something huge is coming to Africa. Bro, what is coming to Africa? We sat down, we discussed this thing. So I think I've learned that great lesson, and I've learned it in a very big way. So, Auntie Temi, this is one of the mistakes we made with GDG. We were not talking. We were not trying to, share the core of what we learned. And so we felt whoever who is into mental software engineering is far better than us. So we just oppose, we compare. No, what I mean is, Sharon is a data analyst. I mean, data scientist. Cool, fine. I could be a project manager. Envy me. It depends on how I'm able to get my stuff across. So what made us jump around then was what was attracting us, the next shiny object. How you take make them UI US? Oh yeah, everybody, let's close down all the Node.js we have imported. Now it is UI US. The next tech meeting you go, you see somebody balling again. Wait till you do like this and a crypto, bro, UI US. So we are just jumping based on signals. As we catch the signal, we jump. But I've learned one thing: you can make money from anything in this life. Either it is shit you are selling, you can make money. That's what I've learned. So it's for me to just calm down and do what I love doing. And that is what I love about what Amy was saying. She loves what she's doing. And I think that is what should direct us. That's why I asked that question directly. Do you love what you are doing? Because when you love what you are doing, you have the money, it's double blessing. You're not just pushing. There are people who are trapped in their career. They are software engineers, but they are just there. They cannot leave because the day they leave, oh boy, that balling on Twitter could go. And
Okay, I just want to add something to what you have said. I think in life we just have to be satisfied with ourselves. Whatever you're doing, so far you find fulfillment. I said this before, but you have to be satisfied. Difference between branding and lying is very slim. And like I used to tell people, you might be thinking that you're branding, but you might not be telling the truth. And guess what? When people place a bet on you, when you sell yourself in a way online, and they come to you to come and offer them that service or that product, and you do not have the substance that your so-called branding has represented, then you have lost trust. It might take you years to get it back.
it's true.
So, in as much as there's so much excitement, let's put ourselves out there. Yes, so many people are conservative about writing. Not everybody find it easy to write. Not everybody find it easy to talk about what they're doing and just talk, gather those followers. But in case you're trying to build, you're hearing this now or later, and you're trying to build a brand for yourself because they say branding yourself sells. Avoid lying.
It's true.
Why should you avoid it for yourself and
It's true.
for the brand you are building? Because the
It's true.
difference is very slim. You might just get so carried away and you want to start upping numbers. We trained 1,000 people, and you know that 10 people clearly came to that room. Then later in life, they're asking you for pictures, and then you are just going up and down. So just be very, very careful. Some of us will still not, I've accepted that some of us will still not um put ourselves out there is fine. So if you can do, but if self doubt is what is limiting you, please cut it off. Sell yourself as much as you know you're capable of, so that when people reach out to you through that post, what to say you can do, you can really do it. Branding is
It's
very
true.
good. I'm also bad at it. I mean, you barely not see anything. I'm trying
And
now,
to
but
add to what the both of you have said, right? Beyond community and beyond like personal branding publicly, even in the corporate world, there's a thing about selling yourself, right? Which people who are very conservative like myself find very strange, because corporate world believes in the faces that they see, the voices they
Hmm.
hear, right?
Hmm.
So if you are not, for example, you don't put your face out there, and what that means
mm,
is that you don't come to the office, show up here and there, right? You're not the one speaking to the C-suite people, right? You're not, your names are not on certain documents. It's, you're just going to keep going in your own lane, and it's okay if you don't care, right? But if you care about it, it's more like learning how to be a little bit audible, right? So it's also like telling a story. One thing I learned about some of my colleagues in corporate environments is how they blow up things. I mean, they're actually not lying, and I actually like Demi's point, because there's this very slim line between it both. But there's also a problem. There are also people that when you now give them the platform to tell a story, like for me, I can use 1 minute to tell you everything I've done in a month. But someone will use 10 minutes, and tell you what they've done. And at the same time, like, you guys maybe even did more, but you just feel like it's unnecessary. Let me just summarize, and then someone
Yeah,
gives
it's true.
strong details. Exactly. They tell you the blockers they faced, how they solved that problem. They tell you the people they reached out to. They tell you, like, and you're like, why is that important? But then people will listen to them more because they're spending more time talking. That means they did more work than you that did the 1 minute, right? So, I mean, all of these things are things that over time we just keep learning. I mean, there are people that are born with this skill, though, but if you're not, it's just something that you keep improving on as you go. So yeah, I just wanted to add that to what you said.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate everyone. I think at this juncture, Timmy, thank you very much. Sharon, thank you very much. So we'll still be reaching out to you people. And of course, for those asking for our Twitter, for our handles, you can check us on Twitter, Python Nigeria. Then for if you want to reach out to the speakers, their handles are on the flyer for this event. So this is the beginning of the great thing, I'm very sure of. So uh Sister Sharon will still be reaching out to you. Madam
Okay.
Timmy will still be reaching out to you, and much more people. Maybe next time we'll reach out to maybe 5 or 6 more people, maybe, you know, until later time, just discuss and share real stories around all these stuff. And all that. Thank you very much. I appreciate. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your efforts. You lightened up the whole space, and we really appreciate. So Python Nigeria says, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very
thank you
much.
too.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Sharon.
Thank you,
It was
Sharon.
nice
Thank you.
meeting
Thank you,
you.
Timmy.
Thank
So
you,
bye
Dave
bye,
and Timmy.
everyone. Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everyone.
Thank you. All right.